Hey everybody. Because I think what I've seen Vivek, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, if you happen to watch this, from what I've seen, he seems to be the most promising candidate for American president that seems to really want to do good for the people. So I'm gonna thoroughly examine all of his policies and do what I think I can to help his policies help everybody else the best way they can. So one thing in particular I caught right here is his energy policy. So he's advocating for nuclear energy expansion, calling it the best form of carbon-free energy production known to mankind. So I just want to go over here and show a comparison between nuclear energy and hemp biofuel energy. So let's take into it. All right, hemp biofuel and nuclear energy are two very different sources of energy. Hemp biofuel is a type of biofuel that is made from hemp, while nuclear energy is generated by splitting atoms in a process called nuclear fission. Scroll down here real quick. Hemp biofuel is considered a renewable source of energy because it is made from plants that can be grown again and again. It is also biodegradable and producing less carbon dioxide than fossil fuels. However, it has its own set of issues that creates more problems than they solve. For example, the most common feedstocks used for biofuel are soybeans and corn, which require significant amounts of fertile land in order to flourish. But with hemp, you don't need that. Hemp can be grown in land that's not very fertile. So this article right here isn't as good as it can be. Let's continue on here. Great swaths of rainforest have been destroyed to create space for oil palms, and deforestation is occurring on an alarming and unprecedented scale in all of these areas. So with vertical farm growing systems, we don't need to cut down forests. We can literally have a whole bunch of plants, hemp plants primarily, because hemp also, so hemp does generate CO2, but it also sequesters CO2. They also don't mention that in this article. So it's another important factor to consider here. But by having vertical farm growing systems, you could literally build these vertical farm growing systems on areas that have been deforested, as well as growing normal hemp in the soil, which by growing hemp in the soil, hemp rejuvenates the soil that it's grown in. So not only would you be rejuvenating the soil that it's being grown in, that has been damaged from deforestation, you could also on top of that, or in addition to that, have vertical farm growing systems growing hemp too. All right, let's continue on. Nuclear energy, on the other hand, is not renewable, but is considered a low carbon source of energy. It does not produce greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide or methane, which contribute to climate change. However, nuclear power plants produce radioactive waste that can remain dangerous for thousands of years. Okay, that's a huge issue. And again, try to think of things energetically. Like radioactive waste carries an energetic vibration with it. And that's going all over. The animals are the ones that are going to suffer mostly because of this. The animals, the soil, which is where we get our food from. So our food's also going to be tainted from this radioactive waste. I mean, without me even looking into the specifics, it's nuclear energy. It doesn't feel like the best way to do things. These things are very volatile. They can explode. There's tons of maintenance that's involved, but let's continue on here. In conclusion, both hemp biofuel and nuclear energy have their own advantages and disadvantages. While hemp biofuel is renewable and produces less carbon dioxide than fossil fuels, it has its own set of issues that create more problems than they achieve. See, that's just the way that they look at things. It really doesn't. In my opinion, from what I've researched, this is why some of these articles are biased. And that's another thing that they've done. They've used this propaganda against hemp, going back to Reefer Madness when they fucking alienated it, made it look like something that was going to make you crazy. And hemp doesn't even get you high. Marijuana is the herb, the cannabis plant that gets you high. With hemp, doesn't even get you high. All right, let's move on here. It is not... So nuclear energy, on the other hand, is not renewable, but it is considered a low carbon source of energy. However, it produces radioactive waste. Yeah, okay, they remain dangerous for thousands of years. Okay, we already read that. Hold on. So yeah, this wasn't even the best article. But I'm going to go ahead and share, I'm going to look into what it says. The safety of power plants accidents have catastrophic consequences. So again, we're choosing to pick an energy source that has the potential and has the proven ability, because it has happened in the past, to have a catastrophic consequence. And again, it's not just about human beings. It's about the soil, the animals, the planet, and the earth. Hemp does not have these things. I'm going to do more specific research into the pros and the cons of hemp biofuel generators, but everything that I've looked from hemp is good. So I have a hard time believing that there's really bad things that come from using hemp as a biofuel to generate electricity. So, all right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.